Hi, church family, and thank you once again for joining us for this evening service. I pray that it was an encouragement to you and your family. Well, at this time, I'd like to give you just a few brief updates as we think about our church and as we think about the upcoming weeks and also the upcoming months. And just a few things that I want to ask you to consider and also to pray about as we think about our church and our current situation. And first of all, I want you to consider with me together here tonight the truth and the principle that we find in the Bible that the church is essential. I know there's a lot of people out there saying that the gathering of the church is not essential, and for the most part, I feel like we as a church family have exercised Romans 13, where we've been subject unto the authorities that God has ordained above us. At some point, we might have to exercise Acts 5:29, where we ought to obey God rather than men. I don't know exactly when that's going to take place, but we're constantly praying and constantly seeking the Lord for His wisdom and also His guidance. But the church is essential, and the gathering of the church is very important. The Bible teaches us in Hebrews chapter number 10, verse 25, that we ought not to forsake the assembling of ourselves together. And that's not just a nice suggestion, that's not just a good idea, but that's a divine mandate from our God that we as a church family ought to gather together physically, and we ought to fellowship with one another as the body of Christ. And so church is essential, and we will gather once again. We just don't know exactly when that timing is going to be. I know there's a lot of pastors here in California, and they have a concerted effort, and they have made the statement that they will gather once again with in-person services starting May the 31st. I would love to join that effort, and I would love to be a part of that. But that brings us to the next consideration that I want to share with all of you here tonight, and that's concerning our facilities. As all of you know, we're renting the facilities there at Vandermolen Elementary School, and that's through the Corona Norco Unified School District. And they've given a date of June the 19th. That's the date that it's closed until, and we're expecting after June the 19th, hopefully they'll open back up the use of facilities, but we have no guarantee. We have nothing for certain that it's going to open up and we're going to be able to go back in and use the facilities as we once did before. At the same time, June the 19th is still a very long time away. And so with that in mind, of course, we've been continuing in prayer and searching for a facility within this area that would be suitable for our church needs as we think about the stage that we're in right now. As of now, with some of our search and different people that have been helping us, we have not found a building. We have not found any facilities that would be suitable for our church. Nevertheless, God knows, and God knows our needs, and God has a place for us. And so I just wanted to ask each and every one of you tonight that you would join me in prayer and even some fasting as we seek the Lord concerning His direction, as we seek the Lord for a possible facility or a building to open up within this area. It really must be the work of God, a miraculous work of God, that He would provide for us a location for our church. But let's remember that God can, and He's told us in the Bible, "Call unto me, and I will show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not." And so let's continue to pray. Let's keep trusting in the Lord concerning our facilities and our future building. And then the last thing that I wanted to update you about and ask you to consider and really look over the next several days is we're working on our policies and procedures, and we're preparing for the time that we will regather together and have in-person services. And so within those policies and procedures, it'll also outline the phases of how we're going to gather together, some of the things that we need to consider with precautionary measures, with social distancing, also sanitation and safety. And so we're working on that. That's going to be finished later on this week. And so that'll be updated on our website. It'll also be emailed out to every single church family that we have here at Hillcrest. And so please take a look through that, and please be familiar concerning those policies and procedures so that we could all be on the same page as we regather together as the church. Now, once again, I don't know when that's going to happen. We don't know as of right now even where that's going to happen. Nevertheless, we know that God knows when and God knows where. And so let's keep trusting in Him. Let's keep our faith in God. Let's keep praying, and let's keep seeking the Lord for His direction. And God will guide us, and God will provide for us a place where we can gather together. And so pray with me concerning those different needs as we think about these different considerations and updates concerning our church. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.